In this video, we are going to discuss about the midband analysis of BJT single stage amplifier. On the completion of this topic, the students will be able to analyze the frequency parameters of BJT. And in the midband analysis of the BJT single stage amplifier, here we are considering a basic amplifier circuit. So here, to form this transistor amplifier, only it is necessary to connect this external load as well as the signal source along with this proper biasing. So you can see the transistor network with the proper biasing, that we are connecting the external load and the signal source along with this proper biasing. And we are drawing the hybrid model for this network, so that we are getting this Vs, Rs, and here we know that is HR into V2, HF into V2, H0 and V2, then here load resistance RL is 1. And to analyze the hybrid model for finding out the current gain, input resistance, voltage gain and the output resistance, first we are taking the current gain. So we know that this current gain is nothing but the ratio of the output current divided by the input current. So we can write this equation as AI, which is nothing but current gain, is equal to load current, which is in the output current, IL divided by II, which is nothing but I2 divided by 1. And from this equation we can write as I2 is equal to HF into I1 plus H0 into V2, and this equation, while substituting the value of the V2 is equal to minus I2 into RL in the above equation, we will be getting that I2 is equal to HF into I1 plus H0 into V2. V2 is nothing but minus I2 into RL. So I2 plus H0 into I2 into RL is equal to HF into IB. So from this we are finding out the value of I2 divided by I1, which is nothing but current gain. So we get the value of I2 divided by I1, which is nothing but AI is equal to minus HF divided by 1 plus H0 into R. And to find out the current gain for this equation, the same thing, II is equal to minus I2 divided by I1 into I1 by IS. So here also we are drawing the input section of the hybrid model and also finding out the input section of the hybrid model with the current source instead of this voltage source. Next, finding out the input resistance, that is ZI is equal to HI plus HR into AI ILRL divided by I1. So you can cancel the term of I1, and here this equation becomes substituting the value of the AI, that is current gain, in this equation, that is AI is equal to HF divided by 1 plus H0 into RL. We get the value of ZI is equal to HI minus HR into HF into RL divided by 1 plus H0 into RL. And to find out the voltage gain, that is nothing but AV is equal to AI into I1 into RL divided by VI, which is nothing but that is AI into RL, that is I1 divided by V1 is nothing but ZI. So you can substitute the value here. Voltage by current is nothing but impedance. So AI is into RL divided by ZI. Since this I1 divided by V1 is equal to 1 by ZI. And here the methods for analysis of this transistor circuit. So the analysis of this transistor circuit for the small signal behavior can be made by the simple guidelines which are given below. So these guidelines are, first one is, we have to draw the actual circuit diagram, then we have to replace the coupling capacitor as well as the emitter bypass capacitor as short circuit. So the main thing is to draw the actual circuit diagram by replacing this coupling capacitor as well as the emitter bypass capacitor, and also the DC source, that we call it as VDD, voltage supply, which we are giving along with the circuit. We have to replace that VDD circuit by the short circuit. So the three things we have to note it. Then we have to mark the points, that is base, emitter as well as the collector on the circuit diagram. Then we have to locate all these points on the start of the equivalent circuit. Next we have to replace this transistor by the H parameter model. So the main guidelines by drawing this H parameter, we have to keep it in your mind, means if we have given the actual circuit diagram, we have to draw the actual diagram. If it is given for the common base or common emitter or common collector, means we have to draw the actual circuit diagram on the based on the particular configuration. So after drawing the actual circuit diagram, then we have to replace the coupling capacitor as well as the emitter bypass capacitor by the short circuit, and also we have to replace the VDD supply by the short circuit. After that only we have to point out the points, that is base, emitter and collector, and also we have to locate all those points on the equivalent circuit so that we can replace the transistor by the H parameter model. Thank you.